Welcome to Dwayne's World. I'm your host, Dwayne Brasfield, coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois, the Windy City. I'm your host, Dwayne Brasfield. Well, today's show is going to be a little different today, and I'd like to thank everybody for their help and their interest in the show. Let me tell you this. Today's show is going to be on black love. Can you dig it? Why you say, can you dig it? It goes back to the 70s, right? Late 80s. Can you dig it? Right? Now, go back to 1983. If you are a Caucasian, well, let me put it to you this way. If you're not black or have black blood in you, this video is not for you. All right. So today we're going to ask you to take a pass on this one. If you were not in middle school or high school around 83, that means you're grown, you're 40, 50 something today. This video ain't for you either. So you can move on. See you another day. Today, I want to talk to all my brothers and sisters that are of black descent with black blood, either mixed or inherit or ingrained in DNA. I'm talking to us. What am I talking about? Go back to 1983. I remember where I was. That was about the time Reagan got shot, somewhere in there, right? So picture yourself about that time, 1983. Why do I say that? Because that was the year that I went from from grade school into high school. And I was right at that age where things would start to be aware of my community and what I was doing going into high school, right? Now go back to 1983. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. Back in those days, we were having the drive-by shootings. But it wasn't like this. Even in the streets of Inglewood, Chicago, which at the time was considered the top 3 worst cities in the country. Actually, to be honest with you, we weren't even in the top 5 back then. Now everybody talks about Chirac. Let me ask you this. 1983, look at your community. Let me think. Think back to Inglewood, Chicago in 1983. Think about Compton, Long Beach, Miami, Arkansas, Little Rock. Think about all of your communities that we lived in and we grew up, Dane County in Florida. Think about all the communities that we grew up in 83. Now say to yourself, it's 2022. Has your neighborhood changed? Has it developed? Has it grown at all since 1983? Well, let me tell you what didn't happen. We didn't grow. Matter of fact, in the Chicagoland area, the neighborhoods got worse. The kids got worse. Why did the kids get worse? That's us. That's our fault. The 40s and 50 crowd. Remember when we were in 83, we blamed Miss Jones because she had all the kids, right? They had the children, the parents, dysfunctional parents, so they dropped the kids off at grandma's house. Remember that? Remember all our friends were being raised by their grandparents? And even us that were raised by our parents was raised by dysfunctional parents, which didn't make it any better. But we all said, oh, look at them. They're not raising their children. And we pointed. Remember, we talked about Miss Jones down the street, and we talked about how our children, Bobby Brown humped the ground. They wanted to throw him in jail. Remember that? Remember that we couldn't, look how many guys, when you look across the spectrum of our race, let's take a peek at what we're really seeing. This is what we're really seeing. The black race, I'm going to say this real slow. The black race, the black rich, has been bamboozling us black folks for a long time. We can't blame nobody for the condition of our communities today but us. If you go back to 1983, right, when we were transitioning into high school or transitioning into college, when you go back and look in that era, it's 2022. Our communities don't look any better, but we got all these rich black people that get on TV. If I hear Kanye West get on TV one more time and tell me about how much money he got, or he has, right? He talked about how he couldn't become a billionaire because he gave him a check for $980 million or something, and he's all up in arms about the fact that they're not calling him a billionaire. That's what you're worried about. How about you bring a hospital to the hood, Mr. Billionaire? How about that? Instead of making gym shoes, how about this? How about, can I get a bank? Can I get a bank that we can put, and I'm not talking about Kanye specifically, I'm talking about black wealth is my point, right? Look at the per capita black wealth we brought in this country. Don't even go all the way back to Martin Luther. Just go to 83. Look at who, let's put this in perspective. I'm going to talk about Chicago since I'm from Chicago. I leave Dane County and all these other folks to the people from there. I'm from Chi-Town. Because what I'm going to tell you about Chi-Town is enough. So right now, we're in a situation where, and I'm only bringing these names up because they're the ones standing on the platforms doing all the talking. You watch it. Yeah, right? I like these guys, but I'm looking at the pink elephant in the room. And what's the pink elephant? Economics. When I grew up in Iowa, when I left Chicago to go to Iowa for college, and I remember the Gulf War had hit. You know why a lot of people in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa area were still working? Because they were packed with factories. 2, 4, 6,000 people per. One building. As a manager, we had 2,000 people on campus. 3 shifts. They were paying $25 an hour back then to take roll-ups. 2 of them, you had to get 2 per hand and put them in a box. So the next one came, put them in a box. And you're going to tell me that with all this black capital, we can't put factories in the hood so regular folks can have regular jobs. Why is it in Chicago the people that work for me tell me they got to travel 2 hours on public transportation because there's nothing in the hood? So I'm going to call all you guys out. Not in a negative way, black on black love. Can you guys help us? I mean, a lot of people say, I'm not too proud to beg because nobody else seems to do it because we got so much pride in the black community that we don't want to say we need help. We don't want to ask. You know what we say? We all try to act like you got to get yours, right? And we're get your hand out their pocket, right? That's BS, man. This is the reason why we still separated. They put it in our brains to just worry about us. Worry about yourself. I was caught up in that for a long time. But you know what I started to notice? I remember listening to Shaq brag about his car washes and what do you say? Car washes and pizza places and all that. You know what? That's all good wealth for you. You guys can't bring a factory in the hood that makes the pizzas to sell to Papa John's, the ingredients. I've been working in supply chain distribution for a long time. You guys let's stop playing games. As a black race, we've done nothing to help our black community. I don't care about the fact that you guys put a school up every now and then. Okay, we got a block, brick and mortar up. And hats off to those who've done it, right? We don't need any more car washes and barbershops. We need hospitals. We need schools. We need banks. Who exactly do you think is going to fix the black community? The people who are oppressing us? If you go back in history and take a look at the black race, even during slavery, even during we just got out of slavery, they said, fine, you guys don't want us around. They started building their own thing. Remember Harlem, the Cotton Club, all that stuff? Go back to Harlem Nights. That was a lifestyle that was real back then. And go back even further than that, when they put them off in the corner and we built our own infrastructure and they got jealous because we were coming in town buying all the expensive stuff and taking it back to our black neighborhood, and the poor whites want to come out there and kill us. Burned our stuff down. Okay, that was back then. What's our excuse now? The Tyler Perrys, the Oprahs, the Denzels. Denzel, I don't want to hear any more cute little sayings from you. This is what I want. You want to do something? Organize to get a bank in the black community. How about that? Because I'm not in those windows. I can't get up there and do that. But you guys sit up in these glass towers, right? You sit up there and it's like, Dwayne, all these people are doing for the black community. This is how I know you're not doing anything. I'm talking about the real blacks. I'm not talking about us. I can go open up a car wash. I can go get a pizza joint. I can go start me a barbershop. We need banks. We need hospitals. We need our schools protected from the inside. We need a armed security company coming here and protect our schools. But see, you guys won't do it. The big money, the Jordans and the Serenas and the Tiger Woods and all the big time singers and the big time Samuel Jackson. All you guys, stop. If you go back from Belafonte, and you go back to Martin Luther King and Bill Russell, those guys are dying, they're dying, and they're going to be gone. Who is replacing the Martin Luthers? Who is replacing them? They're not here. So I figure I'm going to start running my mouth then. But the thing for me is I'm not going to run my mouth to talk. I'm looking at reality. Michael said the other day, Michael Jordan, loved the guy. But he made a comment and said, I don't have to tell people where I give my money. It's a secret. Hey, good, great. I like the fact that you got things you're giving away for secrets. Here's the thing. This is why I know nobody's doing anything in the black community. I don't care about Michael Jordan's secrets. I don't care about Kanye West's $800 million because he's not a billionaire. I don't care about what's that other guy, Chance the Rapper, Common, Jennifer Hudson, Oprah. Who else benefited out of this city? And we can go on and on and on and on. Where's the banks? You're going to tell me out of all those people out of Chicago, I count on one hand, you guys can't come together and say, let's do something to fix the community. You know why you're not doing it? Because there's no money involved. I heard a guy, there's no investment. Why would I go buy up those broken down houses, abandoned houses in the hood? There's no money in that. So what? Buy it anyway. Buy it anyway and turn it into a park. Buy it anyway. Can I get a grocery store in the hood? Can I get some fresh veggies? Do I have to drive an hour and a half to find a Walmart? Because they won't come to the hood. So let me ask you something, Black Rich. If you don't do it, who's going to do it? Because all these years since 83, who are you guys waiting for? Who? The government? You saw how they care about the government. They tried to take it over on January 6th, right? This patriotic thing that they talk about. But as soon as they didn't get their way, they was ready to fight and take over the country. So is it really about patriotic? Makes you wonder, right? Is it really about democracy? Or is it about control? You were losing control. Ooh, they ain't like that inside. See, because that's the reality. They asked this racist dude, how do you feel about slavery? He's walking around with his Confederate flag stuff. How do you feel about slavery? No comment. It's so ignorant, man. They can't even put a sentence together, and yet they have the audacity to be racist. And it ain't just them. I don't understand how ignorant you got to be in some of these parties. When I listen to them talk on television, I'm thinking they either lived in a white bubble on an island or they just don't see. And the thing about it is, I think they do see. They just don't care, man. These people aren't stupid. If we're waiting for our oppressors to come save us, who's picked up the torch since Martin? Where are our black leaders at? We don't talk about economics anymore. We want to argue and fight over Trump. If I hear another black person, let me tell you something. No black people, period, should have anything to say about white people. They don't want to deal with us. The people who love us, great. The ones that don't, why do we waste so much time arguing with them? You know who you should be arguing with? Inside our race. We can't blame the government for this anymore. Those kids that are running the street today, that's us. We raised them. The government, white people, we raised that, what we see right now. And I'm part to blame because I was running around trying to make my first $1.2 million and I wasn't paying attention to my sons and my children. Too busy trying to chase that carrot. Thank God I caught myself with my baby and I'm trying to spend all the time with him as I can. But what we're going to do about the black community, black people, because you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about the fact that none of our black leaders are doing anything in the community. It's a secret. You know how I'm going to know when our black leaders are doing something in the community? When a hospital pops up. We have all these black, I see on Facebook all the time, congratulating all these doctors and black doctors and black. Where the black church? All we want to do is be workers and servants. Somebody please start putting hospitals. Somebody please start putting factories in our community. Because if you're not trying to put economics in our community, to be honest with you, just shut the hell up. I'm tired of listening to y'all, man. I'm tired of switching. I can't find anything. You got all these black leaders talk, and I'm waiting. I've been waiting to hear who's going to do nothing. You can go back to the Jay-Z's and Beyonce. We got nothing but black money, and we're doing nothing but building barbershops and car washes and shit. Excuse my French. It's embarrassing to watch. As a black man, I sit back here and I look at all this black wealth, and white people telling us how much black wealth we made, and yet there's no evidence in the black community. Where? I can count 6 or 7 car washes, not one clinic black owned. So if we're not gonna make money, you're not gonna do it. Let me ask you a question. Black people, rich black people, who has the ability to fix the black community today. But we're waiting for the white people to do it? Is that it? The heck is this coming in my car? Are we waiting for the black people to do it? The white people to do it? Is that it? That we're doing? The government? We're waiting for the government to come up with that policy of policies to take us to the next level. The Democrats. And we keep following them. We follow Democrats. All Democrat. We vote, vote, vote. They've done nothing for our community, guys. Go look. Go outside. Stand on your porch and look left and look right. And think to yourself, since 1983, since Clinton, all those guys, what really have they done for our community other than give us more crutches? Government policies. Free this, free food, free this, free WIC, free this. How about a free education? How about that? How about protect our kids so they don't have to drop out of school? How about bring a factory to the community? When I was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, doing college, I was living in Cedar Rapids. And they have all these factories in this city. 2,000 work for this company. I work for Rockwell International. But they had John Deere, Rockwell, Quaker Oats, Square D, Purina. Who else was in that town? This was all in one town. Think about that. Cedar Rapids is not even as big as the south side of Chicago. And yet they had over 6, 7, 8 factories, and those are just the name brand ones. And you're going to tell me, with all this black money, we can't start putting factories in these hoods? That would start to change the economy. Because if I can work every day and I had a choice between making $30 an hour and slinging, I might pick the job. Because I can get insurance, I can get benefits, I might even end up with a 401k. But we're not doing it, black people. So until we start seeing banks, hospitals, schools that our black people are bringing to bring our community up, now you're developing the community. Just because you go make a goddamn gym shoe and sell it to everybody, well, what is that? Okay, that's making money for you, Kanye, but what about the rest of everybody else? Or does that not matter? Y'all talk a lot. That dude, if I hear that guy from that news media again, what's his name? What's this guy's name? That guy always talking all the time. Roland something? Dude, if you ain't talking about economics, stop talking about Trump. Trump ain't gonna change our community. You guys are talking about down the line. Election ain't even for... Dude, stop talking about economics and stop talking about the government and white people bringing stuff to us. We have so much money in the black race, and we still wait for the black people to fix it for us. Just like we did before, right? Why was that? We look at the our grandparents, because our grandparents was raising all of us mostly, right? Sister Jones, if she saw something that I was doing, she'd go tell my mom. We was raised by the community back in those days. I understand that was a different day. But here's the point. We all grew up and our communities didn't change. It got worse. That's on our watch. And nobody wants to talk about that. We want to blame the system. The system is why your kid is out all night in the streets. We have no type of boundaries. Everybody wants to be our kids' friends. Can't spank them anymore because our parents, when we grew up, they came from an era where a beat down to them was a spanking. So we stopped it all. Decided to be everybody's friend. And now our kids are running amok. Yeah, I said amok. That's what I feel like. Every time you look. I shouldn't have to fear my own young black brothers and sisters when I see them downtown. So I just stand there staring at them. I figure, whatever. They're going to get me anyway. But I look at them sometimes and I look at the chaos I watch them do and the loudness and in people's face and causing all this destruction. And I just think to myself, what is that all about? Misguided. We don't have any counselors. We need jobs. I don't need government cheese. I don't want WIC. A lot of people don't. I should not have to ride. These folks are telling me an hour and a half on public transportation to get a $15 an hour job that half of the transportation is going to take, but they don't have a choice because they don't have the background or education, so they got to do what they got to do. But if that factory was in the hood and you offer GED classes, which a lot of companies don't do, which they should be doing. So when you look around, black, rich, you tell me, everybody who can hear the sound of my voice, look in your neighborhood, think back to 83 and you tell me, have it changed? You want to know if the black rich is doing anything in the community, go back to 1983, look in your neighborhood and say, do you see change? Can you go to Brooklyn with all that money that they were making? Is it different? Or just in their bank? Kanye, Oprah, Michael Jordan. I'm talking about all y'all. When are we going to fix the black community? Because until you fix the black community, shut up. Everybody just shut up because we have done nothing to fix this community. Nothing. Chance the Rapper can go on all his parades and he can do all that. What are we going to bring a hospital to the hood? You're going to tell me with all this influence you guys got, you can hire people to do this. We're going to come up with a system. Go in the neighborhood. Let's see what's going on. See these vacant lots? We're going to turn these into parks. But you won't do it. Because if you go down there and buy that property and tear that stuff down, you're probably going to take a loss. And because you're going to take a loss, you won't do it. Rich black people. You can go in the neighborhood right now and buy them up, turn them into parks. As an investment, whatever you want to do. But you can clean up the neighborhoods. You know what, Shaq? How about you hire a street cleaning company and start cleaning the hood up because it seems like the street sweepers never come to our area. See what I'm saying? I don't need another Papa John's. I need a bank. I need a hospital. Our schools need to be safe. And we're waiting for the people that oppressed us to fix us. What? If I hear black people, they won't bring us a hospital. You know what? Rich white people pay for a hospital in their community. Rich white people have a bank in their community. And we're still waiting for them to give it to, could you didn't bring it to us? All this money we got. And we're still waiting for our oppressors to fix us and our communities. Now, when I say fix us, don't get it twisted. I don't think we're broken. What I mean by fix is fixate ourselves on ourselves so we can develop ourselves. You ain't my brother. I ain't going to help you. That's what they've been teaching us that since slavery. Every other race seem to help each other, but our race, we don't help each other. We fight, backbite. I watch it everywhere. I watch it everywhere. You watch it in the church, you watch it in the community. We attack, attack, attack. I'm not attacking. I'm trying to say, help, please. Bring economy to the community and stop waiting for the white people to do it. This is not their fight right now. Those kids are our children. We want to stop the police from killing them. Let's train our children. Right? Every killing I seen, it's like, if we don't know we're at war, do you think they have to have a machine gun all the time chasing us? Guys, we're at war, man. That little thing they pulled on January 6th, let me tell you something. Let them try to arrest Trump. Black people, we need to wake up, man. That Constitution meant nothing to them when they didn't get their way. Think about that. When those elite or those white folks that really think they should be running everything, you know, the ones that kidnapped our ancestors, remember those? The ancestors of their ancestors that kidnapped us, brought us over here at gunpoint, forced us to work for free until we learned their language and started understanding what was going on around us. They say in the early days, the Africans would take off running, thinking they can run as fast as they run, they get to Africa. A lot of them didn't really realize that they were away from Africa. Could you imagine? They running. That's probably why we so fast. We've been running forever away from our oppressors. Black people, my black brothers and sisters, if you're not going to help us build a community, man, just shut up. Seriously. Shut up. I don't want to see no more hugging. And then we have, if you think about this, think about the bank board. If we had like a Magic, or Oprah, or Obama, at that level, you guys can create a financial system for the hood. You know what also you can do? You can put banks in the hood and give us loans that people can afford so we can build the black community back up. Go back to the days of the Harlem Nights and the days where the blacks were living a certain way. We can't do that today with all this money. Or Bagajis, is that it? People say, oh, you got a lot of talking, Dwayne, with Versace's on your face. Well, you know what? These Versace's ain't going to buy me a school. I try to do what I can with the means that I have. But I can go get a car wash. We can go buy a franchise pizza joint. You guys got money that's at another level and we can't bring a hospital here? Come on, Chance. Kanye. Jennifer. Common. Oprah. Michael. Let's start in Chicago. Man, y'all get together secretly. Let's build some financial institutions in the black community, brown community, less fortunate, man. We got the money. We're just not doing it. Till next time, Dwayne Brassfield, Dwayne's World. What kind of world do we really want to live in? What are we waiting for, black people? Really? A handout? Waiting for the white man to come give it to us again? Can I have a hospital and school? Massa? Is that what we at? Because just because you don't say massa, what are you saying when you keep saying the government got to bring us this? The white man's got to come bring us. They got to fix our communities. Yes, we know they broke it. We're gonna wait for them to fix it, or we're gonna fix it ourselves. Black rich, make a stand. Are you gonna lose money? Hell to the yes. You're gonna lose a lot of money because you guys are gonna have to help catch us up. And we got the money and resources. You look at since the Civil Rights Bill, how fast we went from there to now. When Martin Luther King died, I was born 1 month later. 1 month, a couple of days. And Jackie Robinson, a few players in the NFL, right? You had some singers kind of, right? And it just stopped. All that activism and all of that. You know what activism turned into after those guys all died? Confrontation crap. Now our black leaders are confronting everybody and always want to go confront all the white people. Why don't you confront each other? Why you don't ever say, why is the economics the white man's problem for us? I don't freaking get what we're doing, man. We got all this money, and we still waiting for the white man to bring a bank to our neighborhood. We're still waiting for the white man to bring us. Why? Because we're wired the same way we've always been wired since all this racial crap started. It's the same thing. We don't see it. You got to lose money sometimes to make money, and sometimes you need money to make money. Us down here, we don't have it. We don't have the money to build a hospital. We don't have it, man. We can dream. The only people who are going to fix the black community are black people. 100%. Maybe 95%. The other 5% is what you need to go through paperwork-wise. But other than that, man, we can come in here and fix our communities. You bring a grocery store. Start with that, man. Could you imagine Jay-Z and Beyonce if you guys went back to Houston or Brooklyn and put in some Mariano's or Jewel's or Perplex or whatever grocery stores, Oprah, Michael? Start putting grocery stores in the hood. Start bringing some stuff to the neighborhood so we can see the help, the difference that everybody's claiming they're doing for the black community. Go back to 83. That's how I know you ain't doing it. Because we don't see nothing in the black community that reflects all this black money we keep putting into it. And then when you do go do something, you're only doing it for you. Michael, them shoes ain't helping us in the hood. And I got tons of pairs of your shoes. Can you bring a warehouse? Oh, you're not going to bring a warehouse because it's cheaper to do it overseas. Can you lose the money and bring a warehouse so we can build our community up? It wouldn't even have to be forever. You guys just got to lay the foundation. Yeah, the first few years might be kind of rocky and y'all, but man, at some point that wheel is going to start rolling and kids are going to start coming out of high school into jobs. They might not go to college, man. Then they don't have to turn to the streets. Do you know how hard it is to be offered $1,500 a week for me to take a package to my campus, which would have been very easy to do. And I would have sold it like that. The only reason why I didn't do it was for two reasons. One, I'm a punk and I can't stand to be locked up. I feel like a caged animal. I think I'd go crazy if I get caught. And two, I was getting into my Christianity. I was starting to get my life right. And I was just saying to myself, I just didn't want to go backwards. But man, that $1,500 a week was hard to pass up when I was only making $13.50 an hour at where I was doing. And I was working on campus, delivering pizzas to the dorm rooms. And I was this close. But I didn't do it. But here's the thing. What about the kids that are doing it? Can you blame them? When you look around the hood, what other options do they have? Drive 2 hours for a 15-hour job. This is what the white folks think we're supposed to be doing. And then you look at them and wonder why. They're angry and upset. That young group, man, the millennials, they're angry and upset. They're tired. Listen to them talk. If you read between the lines on their tweets and stuff and their TikToks and all that video stuff, read between the lines. They're not happy with our society. They're not happy with the way they're being raised. They're not happy with the way they're being treated. They're not happy with the way they're being looked at. Every black guy with a hoodie's a criminal. So treat them like criminals, right? Black on black love. When is it going to start? Because I haven't seen it. I'm going to say again. If you go to 1983, look at your community, look at it today. Did it get better? What help is everybody claiming they're doing in the black community? Do you know how it felt to watch Oprah go open schools in Africa when our school that was less than a few miles from her didn't even have doors and had a hard time even getting security. And we're right here in the city that she was making all her money in, where she got started. That was like a smack in the face to me. I remember talking about that when it happened. I'm reading a book of a president that's been dead for over a decade, but under his picture, it has his birth date and a dash with no death. You know why? How old are those books? How the heck is Johnson Lyndon going to show still being alive? In 82, 83, Nixon. Really? This is what we're learning? History from 10 years ago when I was growing up? And you don't think the schools in America needs help? You guys talk about the teachers not making money. Which one of y'all going to stand up and pay them? Anybody? Nope. Not going to do it. So then shut up. I watched The View the other day, sit there talking about all the teachers and all this. Are you going to organize something to help make them more money? The View. Then shut up. I like Whoopi, but Whoopi, you talk a lot. When are we going to talk economics and put a plan together? Not talk. Have a meeting. Have a teams meeting, Whoopi. Call all your big guys and let's have a meeting about what can we do. I know some of y'all know Obama. Call them out. Hey, let's put an infrastructure together for our black communities. Nobody else is going to do it. People forget that Obama knew the Bushes when he was young. You think him becoming black president was an accident? Man, y'all got to wake up, man. Wow. Black on black love. If we're not trying to help the black community catch up, who are we waiting for to do it?